And we are live. We want the gold, sucker. We want the gold, sucker.
Hey, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Ben Goose, and here on the mic, this week's edition of the IRWP podcast. Man, we've got a good show, a packed show today, a really packed show today. A lot of things going on that we got to bring to you guys. I'm your boy Ben Goose, and I'm here along with my partner in crime. What up, Sage?
What's going on, Ben Goosen? Feels like we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
You know what's funny, man, is I got into the show today and I thought the same thing. I was like, man, I haven't done a show in a couple weeks. Why is that?
It's because the Miz is messed up.
Are you talking about the Miz is messed up?
As in the Marks Miz is messed up.
Uh-oh. You know, you got to tell the squad about that. You got to tell the crew, the jobbers out
man. So check this out, man. So y'all know how we work, man. We record on Thursday. I have the episodes out for you guys to hear on the audio podcast on Friday or on Saturday. So this Saturday we was like out of town. What's going on, Young Samurai? Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Young Samurai?
Your boy was out of town. So I was doing some editing on the road. Friday night, I had it all plugged up next to the pull-out sofa at the hotel, and I had everything synced up, ready to go, starting to edit, and then your boy fell asleep. I was dead tired. I wake up in the morning, and the missus is trying to get us all out. Like, we got to eat breakfast. We got to be at the pool at 7 in the morning. So we got to get everything ready. And as I'm putting everything in my backpack ready to go, I grab my laptop, and I noticed like something was dangling. I was like, "What's going on? Why? What?" I look, and the cord was sandwiched in between the convertible couch and the outside, so it pulled out the positive wire. And I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "Man, I got to do something. Your boy's got to do something." So I was thinking fast. I'm in Austin. I'm in the ATX. I need to find a computer store so that I can get this thing repaired. So I go to Best Buy, and I go to the back where they got the computer accessories and the power bricks. And I made the mistake. And I should get the dunce of the year. Go ahead, Goose. You're gonna put me for the dunce of the year on this one, bro. So I go in there and I ask the associate, I got a 65-watt brick. I need it for my computer. It's an HP 15 Pavilion, and I need it. So I grabbed the 65-watt one, and I'm thinking I'm good. And he was like, no, if it's HP 15, you're gonna need a 95. You're gonna need a 90-watt. It's because it's a big computer. And I'm like, what? Like, okay. I'm like in a rush, and I'm like, I got to get back to the hotel. So I grabbed the 90-watt one. I paid for it. It was like $45 for it. So I was like, it's a good deal. Not bad. Probably could have gotten it for like 20 on Amazon, but So I go back to the hotel, Goose. I'm unpacking this thing. I'm getting it all hooked up. I get the little connectors, and then I notice like at glance, I'm like, man, none of these connectors look like they're gonna fit. So I try a 10. I mean, I try an 11. I try a 14 connector, and they're not fitting. And I'm like, fuck, I should have known better. So your boy goes back to Best Buy, and he's like, okay, I need to get these exchanged. I got the 90 watt. I need to get the 65. Like cool. So said, go back and get it. I will go back and get it. I go to the register, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so it's gonna be an extra $20."
For what?
I'm like, you're telling me that the 65 watt is more expensive than the 90 watt brick that I originally purchased? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. So I splurged the extra $20. I go back to the hotel. I pull out the thing, and I'm like, okay, so it's got to be one of these two connectors. So they had an 11, and they had a 13. 13 looked a little big. 11 looked just right. I tried the 11. I put it in. Wouldn't fit. I tried the 14. Wouldn't fit at all. So then I go onto the website to look at the tips, and I'm like, come on, man. Like it says on the website that this, like it's in the box, and it's not in the box. And I was just like, I was like, come on, man. But it wasn't all lost, man. I give them a call. They're like, you know what? It's our bad. We're gonna go ahead and ship you the 10 connector. It's gonna take 7 to 10 business days to get to you, but I'm gonna see if I can get a rush on it. So I'm thinking, damn, man, Goose is gonna have to host this week, and we all know how that works out. And I'm gonna have to do it off of my phone, and I don't know, the audio is gonna be terrible. So I was panicking. So it's 9 o'clock. I'm like, I'm texting Goose. I'm saying, hey, Goose, you're going to have to do the hosting this week, man. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the mailbox just to see if it's there. Maybe I get lucky. I've been a good boy all week. Maybe I get lucky this week. So I go to the mailbox. I open up the box. I was like, oh, my God. It says Sage the Mark on there. Let's do this. I rip it open. Saw the little connector. I took the snapshot, sent it to my boy Goose. And your boy is live this week doing the podcast. Let's go.
Damn. Did you mark out at the mailbox?
You know I did. You know I did. I didn't do the backpack kit because I didn't want to get sued.
I was just about to ask that. Yeah. And what's funny is I would have taken a video of you and I would have sued your ass. And then after the lawsuit settles and I make 100 G's, I would have split it 50-50 with you, and we would have put it in the podcast. And we would have paid for all these. We would have paid for sponsors to come on here.
You mean I would have paid for it?
Technically, your credit score would go bad and all this stuff. Yo, what up, Silky? What up, Silky? Man, let's get into today's show. We got a lot to talk about, but I feel like, just like, was it last week? There was more. It was last week. More to talk about outside the ring than inside. So, do you want to start with? Let's keep it wrestling to start because we got some non-wrestling stuff too. But do you want to start? Let's start with Raw. You want to start with Raw this week?
Are we gonna before we get into Raw? Did you watch NXT UK?
Hey, let's start with Raw this week.
Ghost, I'm gonna have to find another partner to do this NXT UK. So what the flip? Yo, let me just say this, man. Finn Balor was amazing on Takeover. It was good to see him with Devin. Outstanding, man. Just shows why he's great, man.
So I did see. Did Pete Dunne lost the championship? Was that right?
He did not lose the championship. He retained.
Okay, and that was the main event.
That was the main event.
So I completely missed it. I don't know what I had going on Saturday. I think busy weekend, but I missed it. Meant to get caught up on it, and it was one of those things where I was going through Twitter or something like that, and I saw that Finn Balor was at the show, and I'm like, oh well, that surprise has been ruined. And then I saw that. What was the chant? There you go, Sage. You see that beautiful Mark face?
Yeah.
So, what was the chant that they started?
Oh, something about Vince. Are you watching?
Yeah, that was it. And Vince and Triple H responded. So does that further emphasize that
not just Triple H, Vince responded too.
Yeah, but both of them.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did you hear what I just said? Vince and Triple H responded.
I bet,
you
bro.
said,
I'll tell you, man.
I know what you're doing.
Look, bro.
Hey,
my
Sage,
plug got here late.
It's hot
My
outside.
plug got here
And it's
late.
hot,
I didn't
too.
have time to. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
You're trying to hit me with that Pootie Tang.
Side I take.
Who was it in Pootie Tang? Man, it's hot outside, man. It's so hot. Yeah, it's hot, too.
Yeah, it's hot, too. That JB, bro.
You're trying to hit me with that JB. That was a good one. That was a good one. But yeah, Vince tweet. So does that further instill that the McMahon family, including Triple H, are making it about the fans? The fact that they acknowledged that chant and responded.
I think that they're now starting to bridge the gap between who their true audience is and what they perceive to be their true audience. I always think Triple H has always had that connection, but Vince not so much. So I think Vince is now slowly coming around. I think that he was just kind of more in tune with
the business, the traditional. Hey, let's get a big guy. I think that we're in a great spot in wrestling this, because here's the thing that WWE has is they've got the money, so they're going to win and be the biggest company no matter what. But what they've got is they have the ability and they've got the money to do market research and pay for research to say, wait a minute, AEW starting? Oh, wait a minute, ROH signed a guy that we tried to sign? Wait a minute. In Bandito, we made an offer to Bandito to get him out of, I think it was Lucha Underground. We made an offer or out of Impact. We made an offer to get this guy. He turned us down to go to a small indie promotion. All right, we're missing something, and competition's heating up. And this competition is not going to take away any of our mainstream revenue. We're $1 billion company, of course, but they're going to take a little chunk of that YouTube views, the internet views, the random pay-per-view views, ticket sales, because people are going to say, you know what, I think I'm going to go to Double or Nothing instead of WWE this weekend. Let's beat them at their own game. Obviously, the fans want to see great in-ring wrestling, but I'll tell you what, we'll give you great in-ring wrestling, and you're still going to have the larger-than-life Braun Strowmans tipping over cars and stuff. So I think they're listening. They're finally coming up with some really good women's wrestlers. We got some pretty good tag teams. We got a lot of talent. We got Mustafa Ali, for crying out loud. Andrade Cien Almas, for crying out loud. And you don't have to push these guys and put championships on them tomorrow. You just got to show them, feature them on the show. So I think WWE is in the driver's seat. If this is the direction that they're going, they listen to the fans' direction. But I digress. WWE NXT UK. I know that there was a big title change on the women's scene.
Yeah. So I got mixed feelings about this match, man. I like the fact that I love Rhea Ripley, but I love Toni Storm too. But my concern was that I was really worried about the health of Toni Storm, and I was worried that she might not be passionate or maybe worried. 'Cause there was some subtleness in the match itself that kind of made me believe like she was kind of worried, but the match was phenomenal. Those two ladies put it on. I like Rhea Ripley going to chase the title. She is just like, she's like all kinds of amazing, bro. Like she's a keeper. Like,
yeah,
literally a keeper. And Toni Storm celebrating at the end with the fans, I thought that was telling as well. So great match between those ladies. Aussie.
Yeah. Oi. I'll have to catch up on the show eventually. Monday Night Raw. I didn't watch it till yesterday. I don't watch the full thing. You would text me specifically this week, and you said Raw was pretty good.
Yeah.
Why? Why was it pretty good to you? I'm not disagreeing.
Keep in mind, I only watched the Hulu cut, so I didn't get to watch the entire show. But from what I saw, I thought it was amazing. Kind of unexpected for me, them stripping Braun of the match with Brock Lesnar.
Why was that? Because I think, like I've said before on the show, I fast forward through commercial breaks and sometimes I miss quick segments. I don't. What happened? Did I miss something?
So kayfabe wise, Braun basically threw a fit because of Baron Corbin kind of saying some stuff. And he basically tore up the limousine and of Vince McMahon trying to chase Baron Corbin all around and stuff like that. Vince comes out and says, "Hey, you think you're a tough guy? I'm going to take the title away from you, or the title shot away from you." And then, that was pretty much it. Breaking kayfabe, there's conflicting reports out there. Some of it saying it's because of his promos. Others are saying that he's still not fully healed from his surgery.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I would probably go with the latter of the two. Or it could just be, we're tired of seeing Braun going the title and you guys not giving it to him. Let's try to give it to somebody, or at least show a different matchup for Brock Lesnar.
Maybe they go with like the super push for Braun. Like, hey, you know what? He was a face. He was really over when he feuded with Roman. Then we turned him heel briefly. Now he's back to face. So let's let him fight Brock and get the title at Mania. Let's give him the slow push.
Nah, bro.
No?
Yeah, he out the. I got that connection with the WWE, and sources are telling me that Brock's not going to be champion after Royal Rumble.
That's wrong. 100% wrong.
I don't know, man.
Finn Balor won the main event in a great match. We'll just say we'll leave it at that. And fans were happy because the McMahon family's listening to the fans.
Look,
I give you. We're not even doing Royal Rumble predictions. When's Royal Rumble? 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks from Sunday. Yep.
So next week's show will be predictions, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go home show.
I give you my word. Finn Balor is not winning, and I'm saying Finn Balor because I don't know who's showing up. He is not beating Brock. So let me tell me what's on your mind. What do you think, Seth?
You're right. Finn Balor's not beating Brock Lesnar. The Demon King is beating Brock Lesnar, son. Because when that pay comes out, you're going to know, son. You're going to know that your boy Finn Balor has been decimated and the Demon King has risen again and is going to take the reins in his rightful spot. This is the rematch he deserves. Long live the king. Woo!
That's what I was thinking. It's going to take, and you could book it in 2 weeks. Have Brock come out and beat the crap out of Finn for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
To where he triggers the demon. But I just don't see, if Roman Reigns couldn't do it twice, Braun Strowman couldn't do it, AJ Styles couldn't do it twice, Daniel Bryan couldn't do it. I'm supposed to believe Finn Balor can? John Cena couldn't do it?
Not Finn Balor the man. It's got to be the Demon King. And we got to see a move that's legitimately going to knock him out. Like the coup de grace, he can't, unless he's going to do 5 coup de grace in a row. We got to figure out another move that's going to be legitimate. Like I like the impaler that he does. Like I think that could do it. Maybe he does it twice, or does a setup into the impaler.
There's got to be some outside interference then.
Yeah, and I agree with Young Samurai. He's saying that they took too long for Finn, and I agree. And a lot of that, like Finn said in his promo on Monday, is that Vince just didn't believe in him. But dude shows up, shows out, and he gonna win that championship. Finally, we're gonna get it off of Brock Lesnar.
It's not happening.
It's going on. That's money in the bank, son. And the unproven one says Finn Balor's not going to win the Universal title as much as I want the belt taken off of Brock. Look, bro, you're right. Finn's not going to win. It's going to be the Demon King. Just wait. Just wait. And when your boy, you get an exclusive scoop from your boy, Sage the Mark. And when that happens, you make sure you drop a comment in the section and say your boy was right.
Yo, shout outs to the unproven one, Brandon Ace. That's a smooth name, too.
Yeah, it is.
He's probably a wrestler. Young Samurai, thank you for the feedback. Mel Johnson specifically said in the chat, what up, Mel? Her nudes got leaked, then she wins the belt. Maybe my nudes should get leaked. Then I get a promotion at work.
Or we get 1,000 followers, bro.
Oh, yeah. For the podcast. That's what it would be. Our nudes get leaked. And then we get some mad sponsors.
Yeah, we do.
Not
I'm
not the good sponsors. So the rest of Raw was pretty good. What did you think of Bobby Lashley capturing the IC title with a pin over
Almighty
Dean?
baby, Almighty baby. Yo, this is what I'm talking. Yo, this was amazing, bro. We got the Almighty getting that title belt, which I think is great. I did not see it coming at all. And I honestly thought that Dean was going to retain, but I am so glad it didn't belong on Dean. It doesn't belong on Seth. Seth needs to go for a higher belt. Dean needs to do something. I don't know, but having it on Bobby Lashley just makes sense. And now Elias can actually feud with him, and maybe Elias would get the belt by Mania. I mean, I'm all for that, man. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm happy for Bobby though, man. He put, with all the crap that they've given him from a gimmick perspective, man, it's good to have it pay off, and have him be in the Universal picture. I mean, the IC picture.
Now, SmackDown, man. SmackDown was amazing this week.
Whoa. We ain't gonna talk about the belts, bro. We got new belts.
We're gonna get into that because
Okay.
Are you talking about the women's tag champs?
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that, but it's because I want to talk about the women specifically and something that happened this week. Specifically,
Okay.
I guess Nikki Cross and Lacey Evans and what they're doing overall with the women. And then who do you think? So SmackDown, I liked that AJ Styles went in the crowd this week, and he kind of did that was a good promo. He did the polar opposite of Daniel Bryan. It's crazy because he played a face in the promo, a heavy face, but we're supposed to be getting the more aggressive AJ Styles. So I didn't really get that. But Daniel Bryan coming in. So I'm not going to lie. When he came in the hoodie and pushed AJ Styles, I was like,
bro,
wait, you just let a fan? Yeah, same here. I legit thought it was a fan.
Yo, and he darted in crazy. And I was following they had like a black security line that was separating the fans from AJ. And I was like, how in the world did he get past? Like, that was some good stuff right there, man. Good camera production and everything.
Yeah, it was amazing. I thought it was great. Overall, man, Superstar SmackDown. I can't tell if it was Mandy Rose and her acting. Man, I love that bit. Or Andrade Cien Almas. I mean, Mustafa Ali is always good, but he got beat up. But Andrade Cien Almas or Becky Lynch. Damn. Superstar of the week on SmackDown goes to Andrade Cien for putting on another great match and picking up the W, right?
Oh, man. It's got to be, bruh. Like, to be honest with you, like everybody put on their A game on SmackDown, man. Like everyone. I was even legit out the Mandy Rose thing. I actually liked it, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I loved it.
I was like, man, this is crap. Like, homie, you better knock. You better not use I was like, please don't just walk in. And he knocked, and then he, walked in. I was like, all right. And I was like, man, Jay, like this can't be typical, man. Just please, man. I was literally gonna check out until he said, my wife. And I was like, shit, yeah, I was about to get down. I'm ready to go.
So I loved that the Usos had the backstage segment where he's like, Mandy gave me the key to her room, bro. And Jimmy looked at him like, come on, Us. And then he showed up, and I'm like, nah, don't fall into that milk of magnesia, that temptation, my friend. And then
milk of magnesia.
My bacon's smelling fine. And then he goes into the room, and you see beautiful Mandy Rose sitting in the chair. And Jay's just looking at her like, hey, you gave me he fell into the temptation. And I'm like,
yeah, he did.
But I'm sitting there like, come on, Jay. I know she's fine, but come on, Jay, don't fall into that temptation, man. I get it.
She Irene, bro. She Irene.
I get it. I get the temptation. Please don't fall into it. And then the photographer comes out, and I'm like, but what I liked is that if he would have kissed Mandy Rose, it forever would have just painted Mandy Rose's character as in, oh, she's just trying to hook up and ruin, like the locker room trash, locker room slut type thing, but it didn't. Like she dressed up, got provocative, because that was an attitude era thing. We're not in there. And she dressed up, and the photographer came out, and it made me think, damn, this is some TMZ stuff. And she was like, yeah, no. Basically, I'm not here for this. There ain't no me and you. Yeah. I'm just here. I'm just doing this because I want to ruin your wife's life. And it made me think, like, damn, this girl is so cold-blooded. And even though Naomi came in the room, she ended up getting beat up, and Mandy left. And man, it was just to me, it was just a great segment. It was a good storytelling backstage segment that wasn't all talk. It was just it was good, man. A good way to stuff like that is a good way to continue and enhance a feud without somebody being in a match.
Yeah, and then it wasn't your typical storyline. like this wasn't kind of like, oh, I'm gonna show it to you next week. Like, it was, the roles got reversed, and it was actually Jay that was on the take, Jay and Naomi that was on the take.
Yeah,
I liked it, man. Like, it was different, and like, oh man, it was a good filler, man. Like, that's the one thing I respect about SmackDown so much, is like they put in the filler content very well, like the Breezango and with the case files.
Yeah,
I love that, and I miss those, man. SmackDown is just, I hate to keep saying this, but it's so much more entertaining than Raw is. This week Raw was great, but it's just I'm enjoying it. But I have to agree with you, Goose. Like, Andrade was just like, he was the man, dude. He was just the flipping man this week. I mean, he is all week, but this week, just him and Ray, just, God, man, can you imagine
Ray still got it
for the belt at WrestleMania? God.
Ray still got it.
Yeah, he does.
How crazy is it that he's not taking a back seat? So did you see, I don't know if they cut it from Hulu, did you see Heavy Machinery and the New Day and Becky Lynch show up to the arena to start the show?
That was so hilarious, bro. That was so freaking hilarious.
I watched that, and when I watched SmackDown, I was very tired, not a long night, and that segment woke me up so much, because we'll just say Heavy Machinery, I'm like, oh, okay, clearly you're on SmackDown because you're backstage, because you're one of the NXT call-ups backstage, which we'll get into in a minute. So clearly you're now on SmackDown, and they're comparing with the New Day how to make the perfect protein shake. And Xavier and Kofi are like, nah, come on, add that. No, that's gross. Nah, do this. But meanwhile, Big E's just sitting there, all oiled up, rubbing his stomach.
Yeah.
He's rubbing his stomach. And Heavy Machinery's like, oh no, this how you make a protein shake. This how you make, add that. And then they threw the eggs in there, but they didn't even break the eggs. They didn't even break the eggs.
No, they didn't.
They take a sip of it, and they all freak out. Heavy Machinery stops what they're doing, stares, because the man is in front of him. And did you notice Xavier Woods unzipped his shirt?
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's a mark for Becky, bro. A mark for the man.
It's great to see Xavier gets to play a mark on TV, man, for being a wrestling fan. And then in his side ventures, man, up, down, and just him in real life, he gets to be a mark for video games and cosplay and stuff. But when Becky takes a drink, I don't know if they edited this on Hulu or not, but she took a drink and goes, it's kind of weak.
Yeah.
Puts it down, struts off to the ring. And as she approached the curtain, the fans went bananas when they realized she was coming out. And she has that strut. Man, Becky is, I was talking to my friends, and I thought that they would eventually, all right, Becky's hot, but they're going to screw it up somehow. It hasn't yet.
Oh, I agree, man. Becky's she's white hot, and I don't know whether or not they're just letting her do her own thing, or they're doing a great job script writing. I tend to think it's the former of the two. But whatever it is that they're doing, just keep doing it. I like I like that they let Asuka and their promos together, that they let Asuka just kind of cut a promo in Japanese. Because you don't really need to know what she's saying or understand what she's saying to know what she's saying. And I loved how she just beat what's her name, tried to beat her with Becky's own move, which that was great.
Oh yeah,
kind of harkens back to the old Asuka from NXT. So,
oh yeah, and so Becky was a hot thing this week. But let's get into other women that we saw this week. Nikki Cross has a match on Raw, but then she's backstage at SmackDown. Lacey Evans is backstage on both shows. And I want to talk about these two being women first, because that bridges us into the women's tag team championships. I don't get what they're doing with the women's tag team championships, but then you have the NXT call-ups kind of backstage. And so outside of the 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen type thing, does WWE know where they're going with the women's division?
So this is my theory. As far as the NXT call-ups are concerned, I think this is just kind of a stall tactic. Instead of using the whole promo package every week that everyone's just kind of getting sick of, they're just putting them in different spots so that you can kind of get yourself familiarized with them. It's something different. I mean, it's not.
I respect that. All right.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just something different. We all know the rule to WWE: couples stay together on the same brand. So there's no chance in hell that that Sanity's breaking up with Nikki Cross, especially since Nikki Cross just got married to Killian Dane. And congratulations to them.
Really?
Yeah, congratulations to both
That's
of them.
a pretty badass couple. Those are some people you don't mess with.
For sure. Yo, he did the 10-year challenge, and I wouldn't have been able to pick him out in the lineup, bro. Dude was skinnier than our boy the Butcher.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I wouldn't have picked him out in the lineup, but yeah, man. So she's definitely going to go there. As far as the tag teams are concerned, I think it's going to be first off, the belt looks amazing. Jesus Christ, that belt looks fantastic. It looks better than all of the main belts, in my opinion. So, but for maybe the exception of the Intercontinental.
It's just going to be, for now, women thrown together, kind of like the Bar, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to be Frankensteiner tag teams, but I do think, which is fine because they only have really 2 faction or 2 legitimate female tag teams: the Riot Squad and Sasha and Bailey.
Hey, 2 of the most beautiful women I've seen in my life, and underused is the Iconics.
And
Please
the
be
Iconics.
respectful.
My
Please
bad.
be respectful.
My bad. The Iconics as well. So and the thing is, I think this is going to be a floater belt. So I don't think
it's got to be.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be one for each brand. It sounds like it's going to be a floater belt between both brands, which I think that's the smart thing to do. I think you and I kind of talked about it at the very beginning of the rumors of the tag team belt. It just makes more sense to have it as a floater belt. So yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. You already have a pretty decent squad. I think there's going to be a 6 women tag at Elimination Chamber for the belt. So you can already believe that it's going to be Sasha and Bailey that's going to be in there, which means Sasha's not going to win the Royal Rumble match against Ronda Rousey. You'll have Tamina.
Oh, of course not.
Tamina and Nia Jax
versus Sasha and Bailey at Mania for the first ever women's championships. You heard it first.
I
was trying to come with a hot take,
bro. That's not a hot take. If the belt's gonna be awarded at Elimination Chamber.
Oh, is that what they said? That's the official,
man.
That's
like
official.
That's the official coronation of the champion is the Elimination Chamber. It's gonna be the first tag team Elimination Chamber, if I'm not mistaken.
So, do you think Mrs. The Mark, because your last name is The Mark, right?
That's right.
And Mrs. Goosen have a shot?
You know what? There's only one way to find out. They can either award us the belts or kick us out and get arrested. And we're going to need you guys to go on patreon.com/IRWP. Post that bail money.
The improvable Brandon Ace in the chat just said, I would love to see some women from NXT and NXT UK challenge for the tag belts. That's interesting because I think that, especially with the Women's Royal Rumble coming up, I think, of course, you'll have your random legend in there here and there, but I think there'll be less legends this year and more NXT women and more NXT UK women.
I wouldn't pass it by. Like, I
It
think
gives
that's a
them
smart thing to do.
It gives them more visibility than the veteran who's going to do a one-night deal. So,
Yep.
yeah, great point. Tony Storm's got to be in the thing. So let me ask, since they've created a women's tag team championship, would you have any interest? And let me know where it would be defended or if it'd be floated, or maybe it's just an internet thing. What about a mixed tag team champion?
Oh man, I would love it. Like I would love for them to have a mixed match belt, but I think it's going to be oversaturation if they do it.
Yeah, too many titles, right?
Yeah, too many titles. I mean, honestly, if they continue to do the mixed match challenge the way that they do it and incorporate some type of reward like that Royal Rumble spot, like I think it'd be fine just the way it is, man. It's something different, and those who actually want to watch it aren't forced to watch it on the main product. They can watch it on either on the network or on the Facebook Live. So
yeah, keep it online.
yeah.
We said last week that we're praying R-Truth comes out at number 1, right?
Yes, like I will mark the hell out, dude. You got my word right here, bro. I will take 2 heavy shots if he comes out number 1 at the Rumble.
I'll kill it. Again, give us mixed in the chat. Young Samurai, give us mixed tag belts. And the improved one saying the same thing. Brandon A saying he'd love to have actually something similar, 6-man tag team belt in the WWE. I think, man, that's tough. It could work.
You'd have to
go internet or get rid of something. Yeah, you'd have to get rid of something.
Yeah, maybe take one of the tag team belts, make it a floater, and then make a 6-man belt.
The concern I'd have with that is that you'd have so many 6-man teams that are just thrown together to be in the 6-man tag team hunt. So you could go with the New Day, obviously, the Shield if they were around, or the Undisputed Era. But then I'm just curious as to kind of how that would, I'm just worried about how that would pan out afterwards, especially when you think about it, Sage. When we talk about if you're going to have a 6-man tag championship or even a mixed for this fact, because the mixed, a 6-man, you're going to have a 3-on-3 and you're going to have at least 4 or 5 teams in the division. And for a mixed match challenge or a mixed tag, you got to have a man and a woman. But you can't have those things if people are wanting to leave your roster and you just don't have the roster for it.
Yeah, and with April coming around, that's usually the spring cleaning season as well. It's I guess we need to get into the elephant in the room, man.
We do. Is it spring cleaning or damn, I messed up. I can't think of the opposite of spring cleaning.
You can't think of another pun?
Yeah. I was trying to come in hot. Because
clever.
I was trying to come in with something hot around everybody. Spring cleaning means, man, I got to cut this roster. Matter of fact, you're a Cleveland Browns guy. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. The NFL playoffs are on right now. Spring cleaning is already happening in the NFL. People are getting cut. New coaches getting hired. It happens because you got to trim the fat and improve.
That's right.
But Maria and Mike Kanellis, soft rumors about maybe Dolph Ziggler. The Revival might be on the outs, and these guys might be asking for the out. So it's not spring cleaning when people are asking to leave. So let's talk about that, man. What are your thoughts? There's a lot of rumors out there, nothing confirmed. I've heard that WWE is telling people, hey, if you get an offer sheet from somebody else, show me it in paper, I'll double it. I've heard that there offering 5-year contracts to people to lock them up until they're, I shouldn't say past their prime, but just lock them up for the long term. But give me your overall thoughts on all these rumors. Look at all these rumors and of people wanting out of WWE because there's alternatives now where you can make your own decent money.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brandon Ace in the chat kind of summed it up, man. He says he doesn't blame them for wanting to be released because they're unhappy with the way that they're being treated, like the Revival, with them shouldn't having to be tag team champions and anything like that. I kind of agree with that, man. When you cage your talent to the point where they can't market themselves or it's starting to affect their brand, they're going to be disgruntled, man, to the point where they're going to look elsewhere. AEW just didn't make a statement to WWE in their press conference. They made a statement to wrestling in general that it's time for a change, that we can't continue to operate the way that we used to in the past. And we need to start looking out for the talent. And I think that WWE has come to the table a little too late, because now, the talent smells blood, and now they're going to look out for them, which they should have been doing all along. I mean, if you're a 1099, you're essentially your own boss. So I think that they psych themselves out as contractors because they feel like they're beholden to the company, when that should never be the case with the 1099. Like, you should be
able to do whatever you want.
Exactly. So
would you say that the CM Punk trial, because CM Punk went through his trial with the WWE, and he went on a podcast, it might have been the Colt Cabana one, I don't remember, but he said, just one quick line, he said, I'm a subcontractor. I can do whatever I want. But it goes hand in hand with what you just said, is guys sign with the WWE and a 1099, a subcontractor, but you don't realize, hey, I really can do whatever I want. I'm my own boss. And unless there's some type of exclusivity deal in the contract, or, what, quite frankly, I'll be real. If somebody said, hey, Goose, I'm going to pay you on a 1099 to do a podcast, I'm going to pay you $550,000 a year. I would really appreciate it if you didn't do any podcasts with anybody else. You best believe I'd be like, oh, no. You ain't got to worry about that, boss.
And see, if I was I would challenge that, man. Like, I would challenge that with the courts, because as a 1099, as an independent contractor, you should never have a non-compete clause in your agreement. Like, non-compete clauses are meant for like W-2 essential employees, like trade secrets and things like that. Kind of.
If they have non-compete clauses, I get it. If somebody says nobody should ever sign a non-compete clause, flat out. It's stupid. It'd be no different than the guy coming to do your drywall at your house, to paint your house. If you said, hey, you know what? You can't paint anybody else's house. And if you do, you just can't do it for 90 days until after you paint my house. It's the same thing. But if I'm WWE and I'm like, man, I could sign these guys and I can get them to sign non-compete clauses, let's do that. And we'll just pay them a lot of money. So I could understand why people do it, especially when you got a wife and kids. I could completely understand it. It's a stable paycheck. Is it the right thing? Probably not. But now AEW is talking about offering benefits, having these people as W-2, it's employees of a small business.
That's right. So
I'm interested to see, not so much, I don't think AEW is going to be a $1 billion company. I mean, it took WWE, 40, 50 years to become what it is from the ground up. So I'm not looking at them. I don't want AEW to go in and challenge Monday Night Raw. I don't want Monday Night Wars. To be honest with you, as fans, I don't think we want Monday Night Wars. I don't think anybody wants a Monday Night War. But with SmackDown moving to Fridays, I think it's October this year, we have WWE on Monday and Friday. You know what? If AEW was on Tuesday, and they were 2 hours, and I had to decide, all right, you know what, I got 2 hours of wrestling to watch, or I've got one wrestling show to watch between Monday and Tuesday. I think I'm going to pick AEW this week. I don't want them to compete with WWE because there's unlimited wrestling across WWE, AEW, NJPW, ROH, Impact. There's unlimited wrestling. And we're at a point now where we could choose, like you just said, you watch it on Hulu, when we watch, what we watch. And if I know in my life I've got 6 hours a week to watch wrestling, I might not choose Raw. I might wait and say, oh man, Kenny O is going to be on AEW this week. I really need to see that. So I don't have time for Raw. I'll just skip this and watch AEW and Smackdown. So I think that's what is intriguing about what AEW is doing, is they're changing the game, and the fact of if they really hire these people. And Cody, I think he did a press conference yesterday or today saying that they don't plan on hiring writers. So I think that that's interesting. I think that'll be tough. I mean, I'm not in the business, but for every single TV show that is on TV, you have writers. Reality TV or not, you have writers. They plan for the long term and all that. So to have a show without quote unquote writers and you let the talent write, I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's saying we'll come up with kind of a 3-month general idea, but we'll just let the talent do it in the ring. I think AEW's onto something, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I think WWE will never change their non-exclusivity subcontractors. Ever.
Yeah. Brandon Ace was saying that, or Young Samurai was saying maybe Wednesdays and Brandon Ace on Thursdays. I like that, Wednesdays or Thursdays. That way you're not. Thursdays might be a little tough because then you might be competing with Thursday Night Football, but not very many people watch that in comparison to Monday Night Football because it's not usually on live TV. Well, actually, it's on ESPN now, right?
No, Sunday night's ESPN, Thursday night NFL Network, which not everybody has, or Yahoo.
Well, I thought they took it off of NFL Network on Thursdays because now it's on Amazon Prime.
That's it. It's more online streaming based.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, man. Like, I think it'll be interesting. I don't think we need a Monday Night War right out of the gate. To be honest with you, like right now, you're just trying to get people onto your product itself, and it may be just a bit too much of an overhaul to just relive the Monday Night Wars. I will say that speaking of 1099 contractors, I was on Instagram on Tuesday, I believe, and Zeta Zhang, she actually was in the Mae Young Classic, and she did a couple months on NXT programming. She is actually doing a China tour right now, and she gave a backstage exclusive of the is it OEW or OWE? I think it's OWE. So those are the contractors that the AEW will be using for part of their show. So kind of like, how we had the cruiserweights being done by AAA or
Right.
in Mexico. OWE or OEW is actually going to be the China fill-ins for AEW. And I will say, man, those cats can go, and they are like they got like a Shaolin style kind of wrestling, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, interesting. It's different, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna blow things out the water, my man. Like, I'm ready. Like, this is going to be interesting to see how ROH and New Japan kind of factor into all this stuff as well, because like AEW is definitely changing the game on all levels of wrestling.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I think that we're in the perfect world for it, technology wise. Yeah, I think now that I'm thinking out loud, I hope. I was going to say they're definitely going to change the game, but I'll say I hope they change the game. It's a bunch of creative minds. They've got some powerhouses when it comes to money behind them. I just hope that Double or Nothing sells out. If it doesn't, it's a bigger arena and all that in Vegas, but I hope it sells out. I'm still curious to see. I think we're all waiting and watching, even though we all kind of know where he might sign, where Kenny Omega officially signs. We may not know for a month. I've heard WWE threw him that huge offer that we talked about last week, but we'll wait and see how that turns out, especially since we have people that might be leaving WWE soon. But I would have to say, so if I had to pick in 5-10 years, nobody will be as big as WWE. I think that it'll just change the landscape and how WWE works with their talent or pays their talent or whatever, or treats their talent, right? Like you've summed that up for the most part.
I mean, there's talks of Nakamura going, Maria and Mike Kanellis going, the Revival going. So at some point, you're gonna have to start having an reflection of yourself and figure out, hey, what is it that we're doing wrong? Are we treating our guys the way that we should be treating them? If not, we need to get better. Otherwise, we're just gonna end up losing everyone. We're gonna be like scattering like cockroaches just everywhere and abandoned ship. So I hope they do. I hope they take this as a reflection and because everyone deserves a chance. Heck, they could have put some of these guys on 205 Live and just let them roll, man. And but they didn't. But
what I'm worried about is if these guys ask for their release, they're going to get nevilled or pocked or whatever, or they just kind of ride the pine.
They got to do away with that, man. Like the only way they're going to be able to do away, and I understand why they put that clause in place. They put that clause in place because of Rick Rude. And I get that completely. But it's not fair. Like if you're an independent contractor, you shouldn't be beholden to a 6-month no compete clause. Like that needs to either be like 60 days or 30 to 60 days or just not at all. But we'll see. Brandon Ace wanted to know, Goose, what do you think about Buddy Murphy as being cruiserweight champion?
Old Buddy Murphy. They say a fine man in Buddy Murphy, and he fights a good match in the Australia. Australia. Buddy Murphy, he's from Australia, and it reminds me of a time that I once battled a great white shark and a dingo in Australia.
You're terrible, bro.
Bad fan. I like his matches with Cedric, but Brandon Ace, you called me up. I haven't paid as much attention as I should have to 205 Live. You can go back and watch other shows, and I could tell you where I think 205 Live will be at the end of this year. But I haven't paid as much attention. His matches that I've seen are amazing, though.
Yeah.
Good call out. Love when people call me out.
He's good. Yeah, that was a good one, Brandon Ace. Gotta give you kudos for that. He's a great champion. I think he brings out the best in everyone. His best matches has definitely hands down been with Mustafa Ali. And it's sad that Mustafa wasn't able to take the belt off of him, but Mustafa's on bigger to better things. So good for him. I wouldn't mind seeing Tony Nese, a face Tony Nese, go against a heel Buddy Murphy, but we'll see. I have some concerns. I think what Goose was predicting for 2019 with 205 Live is starting to come to fruition. I think that's why we're kind of seeing a lot of their cross promotion with the other brands. I think that 205 Live might possibly go away and then they reincorporate it within the SmackDown and Raw brands, but we'll see.
Or maybe they'll get rid of it and change it to 205, aka Mixed Match Challenge Live. Or 6-man Challenge Live or something.
Forget you, Goose.
Can I tell you about a dream I had this week?
What'd you have, bro? Is it PG?
Yeah, I can make it PG.
Okay.
So I had a dream that life was good. I was a mutant, had some superpowers, and old Thanos came to town. I had this dream 2 nights ago. And I told Thanos, hey, look, and this would never be in a Marvel movie, but my specific words were, hey, Thanos, I'm going to fuck you up. Of course, that would never, those are my exact words, and those would never be in a movie. And you know what my superpower was? I'm fighting Thanos, and I'm able to fight really well. That's it. So when he throws a punch, because remember in Avengers, he beat the hell out of Hulk.
Yeah,
but you can't beat the hell out of somebody who knows how to fight really well.
that's right.
So I was able to beat him up, and we were fighting by this beautiful lake. And I threw him in the lake, and I jumped on Thanos, and I didn't stand a chance if he used the Infinity Stones. And I pushed him in the water, and I realized, man, this dude can't breathe underwater. So my my real superpower was that I was able to hold my breath unlimited and breathe underwater like Aquaman. But I couldn't swim fast. I swam as fast as like a normal human. So that makes breathing underwater completely pointless. Like I'm like Kevin Costner in Waterworld. Like I could breathe underwater, but can you swim fast? No. Are you friends with the sharks? Nope. You friends with the orcas? Hell nah. All right, so you just basically hold your breath for a long time. So you need to go to the community pool, or you need to become a professional swimmer. So I beat up Thanos. I just start drowning him, and he passes out. And I'm like, man, I told y'all I was gonna whoop Thanos. That fool starts coughing, and I'm like, oh, you can't kill somebody by holding them underwater for 30 seconds. And he looks at me, and he's like, just you wait. And he snaps his fingers. No, he didn't snap his fingers. He teleported, and I'm like, oh my God. So I swim at my normal pace, but I was able to swim underwater, swim at my normal pace, get to an island, and it's the island where all these rich people are having a nice a mixer, a wine mixer, and I'm like, all right, let me go find the Avengers real quick. I'm gonna tell them like Bruce Banner did, Thanos is coming. So I run around, I'm yelling, Thanos is coming, Thanos is coming. Where are the Avengers? Where's Tony Stark? And I'm running around to all these people, and I'm asking, where's the Avengers? Where's Captain America? Where's everybody? Where's this? And they're like, oh, the event? No, they don't come to this. This is just normal people. And I'm like, oh. Wait, what? Yeah, it's just normal people. So it's just normal rich people having some wine on this beautiful island. And then Thanos and his boys come. He snaps his fingers, kills me. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I got taken out by Thanos. But on that note, did you see the Spider-Man Endgame? Or again, game Spider-Man Homecoming? Was that what it's called?
Like, what? Spider-Man Endgame? What the hell?
No, I got my movies mixed up.
I'm confident that you fell asleep and like you fell asleep watching Netflix, and watching Netflix with Infinity Wars going on to get that dream, and after that dream, it cut to your phone, which your phone gave the Homecoming.
You know what?
And that's where you got that, bro.
I've watched Avengers on Netflix 3 times, or at least put it on to like go to bed. I think 3 times in the past week. So I bet that's, you know what? I didn't realize it. That's probably what made me dream of it. But what did you think of the Spider-Man trailer?
So Spider-Man Far Away Home was pretty amazing. Homecoming was the name of the first one, bro.
Oh, geez, I'm way off. I'm way off.
It was amazing, man. I completely marked out when I saw Mysterio, man. Like I was like, wait, where's the bulb? Because I need to get the bulb, and it needs to be all green or all blue. And like he came out fighting that monster, I was like, this is legit. I can't wait for it to come out, man. I am excited.
I thought it was the Sandman at first.
Yeah, I did too.
Going that route.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go that route too. That looked amazing. But I am a bit disappointed though. Because it's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah, 100%.
To the Avengers. So I question why they released this trailer so early. Like,
but I'm okay with it because it doesn't come out till, is it this summer or next summer?
It's this summer, but still a spoiler. Like this should have been like after the Avengers Like
See,
maybe like the credits rolling and then it happens, or I don't know, man.
I'm okay with it because in the Avengers, the Gauntlet, he got the nano suit. If I would have saw him in the nano suit in this movie, I would have been like, oh, okay, well, he's not dying in the next one. But he's got the normal suit. So to me, it makes me think, okay, wait a minute. This movie happens before Avengers Infinite Gauntlet even happened. Or no, it has to happen before. That we're still kind of living in that world of before. Or maybe after the after credit scene is because he's still hanging out with his school buddies. Maybe the after credit scene is him like, hey guys, let's go on this field trip. This is going to be great. And then it ends with him looking at his arm and then looking out the window and seeing the scene. Yeah, basically copying the scene in Avengers Infinite Gauntlet.
So you think they're trying to pull an Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, where Iron Man movie comes out first, but it's actually before the Incredible Hulk?
Correct.
Oh,
because he doesn't have the nano suit. And he's clearly got the nano suit when he well, I could spoil it now. If you ain't seen it, you ain't seen it.
Yeah.
When he dies in Avengers, the most recent Avengers.
Yeah.
So he clearly has the nano suit. And I was hoping for a standalone Spider-Man movie where he fights somebody with the nano suit. And since he doesn't have it in this new movie, it's before everything going on with the Avengers. But that's the interesting part is we all know Thanos is going to lose, die, whatever. The Avengers are going to win. Maybe a couple of them will die. We all know that's going to happen because but since Doctor Strange was introduced and time travel's in play, I mean, since they introduced Doctor Strange, you can do whatever you want with time travel.
Pretty much.
And so let me ask you this. In the next Avengers, they're going to introduce time travel. I'm saying, I don't know if this is true or not. I just assume.
But there's going to be another Avengers movie after Endgame?
No, in Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
I just assume that they're going to pull a Back to the Future 2 and say, oh man, something's not right. Tell you what, let's go back to good old 1965 or 1955. I forget what it is, but let's go back in time to fix the future. Let's do that. So they're going to figure out a way to time travel, go back in time, fix the future. But that's the thing. If you go back in time, in Avengers Endgame, I got a text from my buddy about this. He said, hey, how great would it be if when you go back in time, somehow the Avengers figure it out? I mean, it's a movie. They figure it out. Because Thanos is the ultimate almighty. Maybe they figure out a way like, man, instead of stealing the gauntlet, what if we just steal one stone and we go back in time and fix this? They steal one stone. They go back in time. And I don't care what's in the comics. People could comment on it or whatever. What's in the comics? This is just what I'm thinking out loud. But what if you go back in time and maybe you fix the Thanos thing? But what screws up is, say Black Panther, he goes back in time and he does something and Thanos doesn't get some stone or something like that. And then they go back in the future and Thanos isn't as powerful. They beat him up, kill him, all that stuff. And Black Panther says, hey, let me guard the gauntlet. I think I got this. I'm from Wakanda. Ibom, yay! And
you do realize he died in the last movie, right?
No, but they're going back in time, so Black Panther will come back.
So they can't come back in time if he's already dead.
Yeah, you can. You just go back to yesterday, and he's alive.
So the only people who can go back in time is Cap, Scarlet, and is it Cap, Scarlet, Black Widow, and
Michonne's still alive,
and Ant-Man. Yeah, she's not going to, man. But
they go back in time, reassemble the Avengers. They get Black Panther, and they say, "Hey, let's go beat up Thanos real quick. Take these stones." They come back. They beat up Thanos. They got the stones. Then they go forward in time and backward in time and forward in time.
This
and
dude's
then at the end of it,
Endgame, bro. He is booking this match.
They got the gauntlet. They got the gauntlet, and Black Panther's like, "Man, I got Wakanda. I've got the best technology in the world." Nobody can kick my ass. And then Eric Killmonger comes out.
So they go resurrect Killmonger from the dead.
Killmonger comes out and he's like, yo, I whooped your ass. He whoops his ass again. And then
he becomes a
the
good
first
guy,
10
man. He's the anti-hero.
No. The first 10 minutes of Avengers Endgame is this backstory about them going back and forth in time. And then the next 90 minutes is Michael B. Jordan just like cruising the streets. Cruising the streets.
He's like,
That's the way. That's the way it needs to go down. And then Eric Killmonger comes back and he's like, man, I need a right-hand man. And he gets Nick Cannon. But not Nick.
Oh my God, bro.
Not Nick Cannon in makeup. He needs to get Nick Cannon with his hair in that secret singer show.
Yo, that show's dope, bro. That show's dope.
Don't spoil it. I've started recording it.
Oh, well,
have you seen Nick Cannon's hair?
Yeah, man, it's all permed out, man. Like he's from the 60s.
Damn,
dude's
Nick
doing
Cannon.
the most. I swear.
I'll give you credit for having a lot of money and doing your own thing, but
yeah,
man. That hair is great. That's where they need to go, and then they need to make the all black Avengers because the all Black Panther made huge records in the theaters, but just have they'll have Tony Stark played by who could play Tony Stark? Juicy J from 3-6 Mafia. Man, they can go a lot of different ways. Drake will be Captain America, Captain Canada. Damn, I could write a good ass movie, and then he's gonna.
You going all out, bro.
My movie sucks.
I'm gonna go with Brandon Ace's theory of that secret invasion after Endgame, man.
Yeah, let's go ahead and kill it, Brandon Ace. Speaking of movie trailers, before we wrap things up, John Wick 3, I think got released today or yesterday.
Yep.
Man, I'm not gonna watch that trailer anymore because it's just a waste of time because it gets me too hyped for a movie that I found out normally comes out in February and it's not coming out till the summer.
I know, man.
And it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. Yo, that cast looks amazing, bro. And you get Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves back together. Matrix 3.0, baby. I'm all game for that, man.
So did you see that it looks like Excommunicado is putting out the hit on him for $14 million?
Yeah.
But he's got to fight his way out of the hotel that they all stay in. Did you notice that in the trailer?
So I think so, but the way that part 2 ended, he was on the run from everyone already. So like that
was the weird thing, right? Is that he's on the run already, but in the trailer it looked like he was in the hotel already.
Yeah, he probably just came back. Like he's gonna have to make an appearance at the hotel. Like they have to, him and the hotel,
the clerk dude, the bald dude.
Clerk dude, yeah, they got rapport. So you know, he's gonna need some help from somebody. So I think that's where it is. But in the end of the day, man, John Wick 3, bro. I still remember when I had told you about John Wick, bro, and you were like, I ain't gonna go see that, man. It's not.
Well, I suppose you probably told me you need to go see this movie with Kevin Nash. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, man.
But such a great movie. Like, just the fact that, especially in John Wick 2, when he kills, didn't kill, but when he beats up Common, stabs him in the heart, and he's like, if you move this knife, you will die. Consider this a professional courtesy.
That's right.
And he walks off, and you're like, damn, John Wick's hard. But the camera cuts to Common, and Common's just sitting there staring at him. I'm like, oh my God. So great set of movies. John Wick will last, because I also hope that they do a kind of a prequel to the first one, like they show why he ended up retiring.
Yeah,
because I think is it the first one where they mentioned that he busted into a room and killed 7 people with a pencil?
Yeah,
is it the first one?
That's the first one.
He killed 7 people and all he had was a pencil.
Yeah,
and that John Wick 3 looks. I hope that it's not too Hollywood, like, because they know they got a blockbuster on their hands. I hope it's not big budget and they just keep you know what, let's just do fight scenes, no CGI. That's the great thing about these movies. They have no CGI. It's just guns and martial arts.
Is John Woo doing this one again?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot either way, bro. So I'm definitely excited for that. I mean, 2020 is gonna be great, bro. 2019 is gonna be great. 2020 even better. We still got Bad Boys 3 coming out pretty soon, and we've got the John Wick, Punisher's coming out tonight on Netflix.
Midnight. I heard that they are early reviews have said they try to make the Punisher make you sympathetic for him and make him look soft. So you'll have to watch it to figure that out, because they don't make him look soft that bad. It's not too bad in season 1.
Look, man, they got Jigsaw in it, bruh. I'm already sold. So that's what I was worried about, is when they gonna bring Jigsaw in, man. And yeah, Jigsaw's there, bruh. And I'm already set. I'm ready to go, bruh. It's gonna be a late night. Got some Red Bull. We're not sponsored by them, but I'm gonna say I got some Red Bull.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Oh,
I got some.
We got some energy drinks.
Bedroll. I got some bedroll
pink.
And some Contractor energy drinks. They're delicious.
Yeah, man.
Downton Moo. I'm good.
Let's get on out of here, bruh. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. I am going to, for our audio listeners, you're going to get both last week's episode and this week's episode at the same time. So enjoy that. Always, you guys want to support your boys, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/IRWP. We've gotten our 100th subscriber on YouTube. So now we could customize our URL. So I will definitely by next week have that uploaded and ready to advertise out to the world. So that way you guys don't have to just keep searching for us. You'll be able to easily find us. So that's coming. And I also want to give a shout out to everyone who joined us live today. I mean, we had a really good amount of feedback and a lot of people coming in. Goose, what do you think?
Yeah, it was good. Great show today, man. We had some good feedback. I'm a fan of the live chat. And again, if you listen to the audio version of this, we do this every Thursday night. Just tune in, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's normally around 9:30, depending on the connection and all that good stuff. But yeah, we're normally up by 9 o'clock Central Time every Thursday night. Tune in, listen to us if you want to be a part of the live show. If not, hit us up. Pretty easy to find at Real WrestleCast or 419-777-IRWP. If you leave a voicemail, if we don't answer, and we do answer, drop a voicemail. If you want to be on the air, just lay it on the voicemail. You want to be on the air, and we'll edit that part out and put you on the air just with your thoughts on AEW, WWE, NJPW, ROH. Man, there's all these letters to memorize these days. What's funny is all these letters to memorize, and I got a 4th grade reading level. My mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me we got to wrap up this podcast this week. Like I said, man, we've had a great show this week. Tuned in a lot of stuff. Hit us up anytime at Real WrestleCast on Twitter. We do respond to all your DMs. I'm your boy Ben Goosen. That's Sage Mark. Keep it real.
Hollywood, you late?
Hey, you latest. No comment. Hey, what up, everybody? It's your boy Ben Goosen. The thoughts and opinions expressed today are that of the IRWP and not of the host. Hey, go ahead and check us out at irwp.us. IRWP, kind of like it's Real Wrestling Podcast.us. We'd love to hear from you at 419-777-IRWP. Had a lot of voicemails this past week that we're cycling through to put on the air for you guys. Also at Real WrestleCast. You know what? Just type in It's Real Wrestling Podcast. We're that big now. You could find us anywhere. Just type in It's Real Wrestling Podcast. Apple, Google Play, whatever your favorite podcast player is. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Or as my boy Ollie would say, smash that like, subscribe, and comment button. Hit us up. Again, irwp.us for all of our contact information. Real easy to find. Keep it real.